What's up? What it do? How you doing? I am back with another video. Today, EandE family, I'm doing a remix of Cinnamon Roll. Don't go nowhere. So I'm calling this a remix of homemade cinnamon rolls because I made cinnamon rolls about a year ago in a video, but I just didn't like how everything turned out. So I'm making them again. So in my bowl, I have 1 stick of room temperature butter. To that, I am going to add 2 cups of hot to warm milk. You could also use hot water for this. I like to use milk because it has flavor. Water has no flavor. So I'm going to add that to my butter. And to that, I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt. And we need 1 cup of granulated sugar. Okay, so if you notice for this, I'm using my dough attachment for this. So we're going to put this down in our mixer. And we're going to let this mix around until the butter and the sugar and the salt gets incorporated. And then we'll add our next ingredients. Okay, so we've got that mixed around a little bit. So this recipe calls for 9 cups of all-purpose flour. I would not use cake flour for this, guys, because I've never used cake flour to make cinnamon rolls, and I've made cinnamon rolls multiple times, so I don't know how that would turn out. So definitely use your all-purpose flour. But first, because this is still kind of warm, we want to get 2 cups of flour added to our milk and our butter, because when we add our yeast, we don't want to kill the yeast. So we're going to get 2 cups of flour in here. And for this recipe, guys, you don't have to sift. How about that? So by adding the 2 cups of flour to our milk that's a little warmer than I would like it, adding the flour helps to cool it down a little bit. So we're going to get this locked, and we're going to mix this around for about 1 to 2 minutes. We just want to get it incorporated into our milk cools down a little. Okay, so when you do this, you will have to get your spatula and you'll have to scrape down your sides a little bit to get everything incorporated. So I'm going to turn this back on and let it mix around for about another minute. So it's gonna look a little soupy right now until we get the rest of our flour in. So what I like to do, I like to go ahead and add 2 more cups of flour. So this will be 4 cups that we've added. So I'm going to add 2 more cups. And to that, I'm going to add our yeast. This is 1 cup of lukewarm water, 2 packets of yeast, self-rising yeast. I don't use the rapid rise. And 1 teaspoon of sugar to help your yeast poof. You set this aside until everything poofs up, like you can. I hope you guys can see it, like you can see in there. And then it's ready to add to your mixture. So I'm going to add this in here. Like that. And we're going to add 2 beaten eggs. Okay, so let's get that back down into our mixer and mix that around for a couple seconds. Because we have more dough, we have more flour we have to add, because we've only added 4 cups so far. So now I'm going to add the rest of our flour. So that was 4. So this is our 5th cup. That was our 9th cup. So we got our 9 cups of flour added in here into our mixer. So we're going to turn our mixer back on, and we're going to get this incorporated. We want to get it incorporated, and I'm going to show you along the way until our dough is has formed a ball, but still kind of has a sticky texture. So I'll show you what I mean. So let's get this turned on. Okay, so before I continue with this, I wanted to show you what the dough should look like. This is what your dough should look like, and that's the consistency it should be. Be patient with the dough because you don't want to kill your yeast while you're doing this. I like to avoid over mixing as much as possible. So you need to knead your dough for at least 2 minutes. I don't want to touch it with my hands because, like I said, I don't want to kill the yeast. So I'm going to let the kneading take place in my mixer. So just, if you have dough that creeps up like this, it's okay. Just get your spatula and push it down back into the bowl. Okay, so get your dough attachment back down into the mixer, and we're going to cut this on for about another 2 to 3 minutes so that the dough can knead. This is this is what you want your dough to look like. That's a perfect dough. So I'm going to get off my dough hook here. So I have a bowl that I sprayed some butter flavor cooking spray in. You can use butter to grease your bowl. It really doesn't matter. So let's get our dough out. I couldn't get my bowl off the mixer, so this is how I gotta do it. Oh, this is beautiful. Nice and stretchy, that's what you want. Look at that. That's a beautiful dough. Absolutely gorgeous. So that's our dough and our bow. So we are going to cover this up with a piece of plastic wrap. And then I like to take a clean dish towel and put over the plastic wrap. I sit it near my stove because it's a warm place. We're going to let this rise, double in size, for 45 minutes to 1 hour. When we come back, we're going to roll our dough out and put our filling in. You don't want to miss this. Y'all don't go nowhere. So our dough has doubled in size. So now we're going to put a little flour on our board because we're going to roll these out. And we're going to roll our dough, put our dough out here on our board. Just like that. Beautiful. So let's get our rolling pin. I'm going to take a little flour, sprinkle on top, and start rolling. We don't want them too thin, but we don't want it too thick either. So I don't really have an inch to tell you, maybe a couple inches thick on the rollout. You guys can see it. It's a nice thickness. It still has a nice little thickness to it, but not too thick. So next, I just have some softened butter because we want to put butter all on the inside of this. These are over the top cinnamon rolls. So we're going to get some butter spread out. Okay, so my surface is covered with butter, right? Now you can put whatever filling you like in these cinnamon rolls. You can use raisins, you can use pecans, walnuts. Cinnamon and sugar is definitely the base. I'm just using cinnamon and sugar in these because Not everyone in this household appreciates a delicious filled cinnamon roll. So we're just going to use cinnamon and sugar. And I'm going to be generous with my cinnamon and sugar. So don't be stingy, y'all. This is all kind of deliciousness here. We don't want to be stingy with our cinnamon and sugar. So get that on there. Okay. So we got it all filled with our cinnamon and sugar. Now it's time to roll. This could be the tricky part, so be careful with this. So I like to do like this. Take it up from this side. Like that. And start my roll. I like to keep it tight. Not too tight, but, you know, tight enough that my cinnamon and sugar don't go bananas on me falling out. So we're just going to roll her like that. Now you see how long our cinnamon roll is. So I'm going to cut this in half. I'm using a serrated knife like that because it's just easier to work with if I do that. Put that over there. Bring this up. And we're going to start cutting. So I like to cut them about this thick. You can cut yours as thin or thick as you like, but I find that cutting them that thick is perfect. So I'm going to start lining them up on my sheet pan. So this is what your unbaked cinnamon roll should look like. As you can see, I still have more to go. But I'm gonna cover these up with plastic wrap. We're gonna sit them back in a warm place. They're gonna do a double rise. So we're gonna let this rise for about 30 to 45 minutes, just until they double in size. Once they double in size, we're going to put them in a 350-degree oven, and we're going to bake them for about 20 to 25 minutes. When we come back, y'all been here before, you already know what's going to happen. When we come back, we're going to get a taste of these amazing homemade cinnamon rolls. You don't want to miss this. Y'all don't go nowhere. Look at that. Cinnabon who? We don't need Cinnabon when we got homemade cinnamon rolls. No, we don't. I made a glaze to put over them. I didn't put a lot on there because not everyone in this household appreciates a lot of glaze on their cinnamon rolls. But you could also make like a frosting and put on there. I didn't do that. I just did the glaze today, but they look amazing. And then you know how it go. When you have something that's not so good, you add a little something good to it. So I cut up some fresh strawberries or whatever, but we ain't worried about those strawberries. What we want to taste is this cinnamon roll. So let's get to it. They just came out the oven, y'all. I like them warm. They are so good like that to me. They could use a little bit more glaze for me. But they are amazing, baby. This is perfect for your breakfast with your coffee, your tea, your juice, your milk. It don't matter. So amazing. You have to try this out. It seems a little tedious, Like it's hard, but it's really not. The hardest part is letting the dough do a double rise. Other than that, it's pretty simple if you follow the instructions in the video. But these are a household favorite. And everyone I've made them for absolutely loves them. As I always tell you, EandE family, I promise you, you will not be disappointed. And that's it for today, EandE fam. Like, share, comment on this video. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and click the bell notification so that you can be notified when a new video is uploaded. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. The links are in the description box below. Also, EandE fam, if you have not got your t-shirts yet, click the link in my bio for the t-shirts and coffee mugs, new merch. And as always, EandE family, don't forget to live a little and love a lot. Y'all be easy. We'll go back to this one. Right? It is so good. Try it out. Your family gonna love it. Bye, y'all.